Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, points to one man who would change the world. God's own Son, Jesus. Come with us through time as we look at the signposts leading to the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Greetings, Gizmo here. The story of Moses is certainly a great adventure. Did you know that this story points us to the greatest adventure of all time? The Israelites were slaves in Egypt. They needed God to save them. We too are slaves, even though it may not look like it. We are slaves to sin. Sin is when we disobey God, and all of us have disobeyed God. The punishment of sin is death. So just like the Israelites, we need God to save us too. The escape for the Israelites began the night of the first Passover, when the firstborn sons of Egypt died. Our escape from sin would require the death of another firstborn, God's only Son, Jesus. On Passover, God told the Israelites to take the blood from an unblemished lamb, and using a hyssop branch, spread the blood over their doorposts. The angel of death then passed over the marked houses, saving the lives of those protected by the blood. This action points to the sacrificial death of Jesus. When John the Baptist saw Jesus, he identified him by saying, "Here is the Lamb of God, who takes away the sin of the world." Jesus was unblemished, free from sin. The Apostle Peter said, "You were rescued by the precious blood of Christ, the spotless and innocent Lamb."
I'm thirsty.
A hyssop branch played a part in Jesus' crucifixion. A Roman soldier used the branch to offer sour wine to Jesus. And just as any Israelite in a house covered with the blood of the Lamb was saved, anyone who believes in Jesus is saved by his blood. The Apostle Paul said, "Our Passover lamb is Christ, who has already been sacrificed." God told Moses to instruct the people to celebrate the Passover every year, so they would never forget that God saved them. Jesus celebrated the Passover with his disciples the night before his death. He used that opportunity to make it clear that the Passover was a signpost to himself.
Take this and drink, for this is my blood of the new covenant, which is shed for many, for the forgiveness of sins.
During the Passover meal, a special piece of bread is broken and passed around for all to eat. This piece of bread is called the Afikomen. The name comes from a word meaning the coming one. When Jesus served the Afikomen to the disciples, he claimed that he was the Afikomen, the coming one.
This is my body, which is given for you. Do this in remembrance of me.
Jesus is the Lamb of God, whose blood covers the sins of those who believe. With the sacrifice of the Lamb, we all have hope.
And God will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There shall be no more death, nor sorrow, nor crying.
Remember that the story does not end on the cross. Jesus rose from the dead and forever stands by the throne as the Lamb of God.
And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of God and of the Lamb shall be in it,